Team Australia's just booked their place into the World Cup final. What did you make of that performance against Fiji?
Well, there were some really good things. So I think defensively we went out with an attitude to play 80 minutes in D, which we've done for the last 3 or 4 games now, which that's a real pleasing thing. Obviously I'm concerned a little bit about a couple of the bumps and bruises on the guys, because although it may appear to be easy, a big strong side, they really hit hard, and a lot of the guys have got some knocks on them. So we're going to have to lick our wounds this week and get ready, and also make a decision on Billy Slater's whether or not we bring him back into the squad, is he fit, that type of thing. So we've got some things to do there.
It's over 5 hours in this tournament without conceding a try. You must be pretty happy with that.
I am, yeah. But the true test will come this week. They are, I think, the highest scoring side in the tournament. So we'll be butting heads on those statistics this week, won't we? But I'm real pleased on the fact that our defence has really knuckled down and guys have taken a bit of pride in it. So we're going to need that to build a performance this week.
What was the most pleasing thing out of tonight? What did you learn from tonight that you didn't know beforehand?
Oh, look, I think the fact that they can respond to the 80-minute effort. We had that game won by half-time. We could have dropped off, made it easy on ourselves, given up a few points, but we didn't, and that's what really pleases me.
There was a shift in the second half that Fiji moved to the left, our right, and the boys slid across and put them over the sideline. That was probably the most pleasing thing from a coaching perspective.
Yeah, I remember the play you're talking about. To see that effort, that's the effort I'm talking about, those little 1%ers that in big games, when you're rehearsing for a big game, and we knew at half-time we had the game, what we had to do though was continue to work hard to be ready for next week. And, I have to say I was really happy with their effort there.
Apart from the team song in the sheds, it's probably the most subdued the team's been in this whole tournament. Is that a sign of them knowing that it's only half the job done now?
Yeah, I suppose, but I think relief too. There's an element of, the week to go and we're there. They've always got that in the back of your mind of being there and getting the job done. So now we know who we're playing and that we're in it ourselves. We can rebuild. But I think they also understood in that feeling is also about. There's a huge respect for the Kiwis as a group, and that the game next week is going to be at a much, much higher level. We're going to be really put to the test, our defence I'm talking about. But, we're confident that we'll also do a little bit of testing ourselves.
Obviously, you wouldn't have seen the game. You were preparing the team for the game, but New Zealand-England had a fair hit out tonight, one of the best games of the tournament. Is there a danger that we've probably had an easier run into the final and haven't really been tested in the last few games?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the toughest game the Kiwis have played. I don't think prior to that they've hardly been stopped. I mean, their first 15, 20 minutes of every game the game's been over. England stood up to them today and showed that there are some issues there for them. But that's not for us to worry about too much. Our main thing is to be sure that we're ready to play. That we're ready to defend our line when we have to, and play the sort of game that we've been building to play over the last 4 weeks. And our opposition, Fiji, showed against England, and they're fourth in the tournament. They didn't fluke their way there. So and again, I'm telling you, the ice on the players tells me that. So we did get a physical game, even though the scoreline might not say so, but the ice packs do.
No major injury concerns out of the game, just more bumps and bruises?
Yeah, a couple that would still worry me till Wednesday. You always worry about then, how long do you wait? The weeks are surprisingly short, even though they're 7-day turnarounds. By the time we get back to Manchester, we recover, we do all the media and all the other commitments we're going to have this week. You want to get 2 or 3 training sessions in there, and if they can't train for the first 2 training sessions, you've got some big decisions to make.
And obviously Billy's in there doing some rehab work now. He's working really hard to get there. How long do you give a guy like Billy? Obviously you've got Greg Inglis who played really well at the back.
I will give Billy till the last minute, but in saying that, I've got to be prepared for him not to play as well. So what we'll do is probably by Wednesday, which has been our main session, we'll need to know, fairly comfortably that Billy's going to be right. I'd still prepare probably on Wednesday with Greg. So then we'll just have to, if Bill then comes in, my last session has to be with our starting side. So, but look, we've moved in a tournament of 6 games, or 6 games this week. We've used a lot of combinations and deliberately so. A lot of blokes have had football, so they've played in different positions. We're ready to make up those places if I do lose a couple of people. had no trouble. I mean, Brent Tate today played centre and then played second row. Daly, I used Daly deliberately as a 9 and then as a centre, and then even at one stage he was standing at fullback. We need to cover those issues in the event of a catastrophe next week. So we'll be ready to put out there a strong side to represent Australia should Billy not play.
How special is it though? These moments don't come around very often. It was 5 years ago, the World Cup final in 2008. It's a pretty special time, and you'll probably instill that in the players. That this is the big one.
Yeah, I don't have to really push that as a major thing. I mean, Cam already said in the press conference, it's not about the 2008 group, even though he is involved in that. It's about the 2013 group. These are the guys that have gone through it together. They've bled and got bashed around and travelled and done all the things that they need to do to get to where we are this year. And they've built this year. A lot of that side's played earlier this year and obviously played with me as the coach. The core of that side's been together now for 5 years since that World Cup. But it's always been about just each year, each game, with a back of our minds the World Cup. There's no doubt that's in the back. And now it's right, because I can smell it this year when we come into this year, a World Cup year, because everyone's talking about it. But now we've made the final. I think there's a relief, which you saw in the dressing room, and now, of course, there'll be an excitement by the end of the week. We came here to make this final, and we came here to win this game. Now we can talk about this game. I refused to talk about it to any great degree before because we weren't there yet. So now we're there. We're determined to win this trophy.
You obviously haven't done much work on New Zealand, but final question: it's going to be such a big game at Old Trafford. It's going to be such a big occasion. Obviously, they've built throughout the tournament, and they're probably playing as well as the Kiwi side has ever played in the last few years that we've played them. The Australian side has built as well, so it's going to be one heck of a World Cup final.
It will be, and they've certainly been scoring some magnificent tries. They were stifled there today, but they still come up with the tries that mattered when they could, and that's the quality of their side. We have similar qualities, so it should be a great game from that point of view.